शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजन सहितं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादां सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूप स्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतः चार्थेषु विज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्म हृदय आदि कवये मुह्यन्ति सूरयः। तेजो वारि मृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजता दधोक्षजय आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शांति शांति शांति। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, chapter number 9, beginning from verse number 52. This is Lord speaking to the Devas after they have approached him for help because of the trouble created by Vitrasura. So he said that he is pleased with their prayers and he recommended that they should understand that a person who knows what is good for one who is asking for does not prescribe something which is harmful. Just like a good doctor will not prescribe diet or medicine which is not beneficial for the patient. In other words, he was indicating that what we are asking is not something which is really good. We should ask for pure devotion, for love, because that is the essence of everything. And that is what is most pleasing to the self. In the very beginning of Bhagavatam, the first chapter, there were 6 questions which were asked by the sages to Sri Goswami. And one of them was Brohina Shraddhadhana Nam Yenatma Suprasidati. That please inform us that which is most pleasing to the self. And the answer which was given was that it is only loving devotional service to God. Savi Punsham Paro Dharmo Yato Bhakti Bhakshati Aitya Pratihata Yayatma Samprasidati. Only that can satisfy the self, nothing else. So we may make various endeavors, various efforts in our life, try to be happy, but we are bound to fail. This is a practical fact which people have experienced over the centuries. Nobody can be completely satisfied. We may feel partially satisfied for some time, but to be completely satisfied all the time, there is only one thing, and that is pure devotional service. So this is the conclusion of the Vedic scripture. This is the essence. And Bhagavatam is expounding that. So all these examples are being given that devas who are considered as very elevated persons, and we may desire to be like them, but they are also not happy, as we see. They are also in trouble, and although they are seeing the Lord, but because of their attachment for power, they do not ask for the ultimate thing. So that's what Krishna or Lord Vishnu is saying, that Naveda Kripana. Kripana means, literally it means miser, but it signifies a person who is like very constricted in the heart, not generous and not understanding the ultimate purpose. Miserliness is not in the sense of just money-wise miserly, but miserly in the sense that we actually have this human body, intelligence, our senses, which can be used in the service of the Lord, but being miser, we don't want to use it. We want to use it only in the service of the body. So the word swartha or selfishness, it manifests at different level. And the lowest level is that just for my own body, and then if it grows a little further, then for my family, and if it expands little more, then maybe for my community, or for my country, or for my denomination of religion I am following. But the ultimate purpose is for the Supreme Being. So that is the real meaning of swartha, or selfishness. So that's why he says that the person does not really know what is his swartha or nishreya. People sacrifice their own comfort for the sake of others. Sometimes for their family members or for country. But they are all very limited in their thinking, because all these things are revolving around the physical body. Country you are born in, or family you are born in, or some religion you are born in. So this is all limitation because of the body. To rise beyond that and to understand that we are spiritual beings and not the physical body. That's when the shreyas begins. That's when the ultimate welfare of the person begins. The body is just a product of material elements. So that's what he said, that Shreyam Nishreyasam Vidwan Bhakti Agyayakar, that person who is in knowledge does not create ignorance for others. A real person, a real knowledgeable person does not put others in ignorance. Just as a real good doctor will not knowingly tell you some medicine or diet which will actually harm you. So when he said that you should go to this Rishi Dadhyan, Bhagavan Yata Bhadrambo Dadhyan Rishi Satam Vidya Vrata Tapa Saram Gatram Yachatam. then you ask for his own body. So these people, they were asked that to go to the Dadichi. So just as people who are selfish, they can do anything for their selfishness. They can kill others, they can deceive others, they can do all types of things. Similarly, those people who want to do welfare, in the true sense of word, they can go to any extent, they can even give up their own body. Because the question was, they could have asked the Lord, how is it possible that we go to the Dadichi and ask him to give up his body for our sake? Because everybody likes their own body. Why would he do that? So Lord said, because he is Rishi Sattam. He is a person who lives only for the sake of others. And therefore, he will not refuse. Savadhigato dadhyam asvibhyam brahma niskalam yadva asvasiro nama tayo amaratam gadhat. So he said that this is called also Dadhyam or Dadichi. He says that he is Adhigata, he is a knowledgeable person, and he knows Brahman. He knows the absolute reality, therefore he is not attached to the body. And he is also called Ashwasira, or horse head. Ashwa means horse and Sira means head. And there is a story for that, why he is called Ashwasira. He says that he has given this knowledge to the Ashwani Kumaras. So Ashwani Kumaras, they are the daughters of the Devas. They are two brothers, twins, sons of Lord, son God. And they approached him once. They approached this sage, the Dadichi, that you please teach us transcendental knowledge. So the Dadichi said, now I am busy, come after some time, I will teach you. So they went away. Then Indra came to know that the Ashwani Kumaras have approached the Dadichi for Brahmagyan, transcendental knowledge. So he did not want that they also stay. This is how envy works in the material world. If you know something and it is precious, then you don't want that someone else also knows this, because then you become one of many. And if only you know, then you are very special. And everybody wants to be special. Everybody has this feeling that I am unique. This desire is there. We always try to prove among our circle that how unique I am. I do something, I know something, I have something which you don't have. So this gives great pleasure to the ego to think like that. So those people who are in a high post, they don't want that somebody else also has knowledge like them or power like them. Because then there is not unique, they are not special. They are not distinct. So Indra, he has heard this knowledge from Vishwarupa. Because Narayana Kavach was given to him very early. And he did not want that somebody else also has it and becomes equal to him. So he approached Dadichi one day. When he came to know that Dadichi is going to teach this to the Ashwani Kumaras. So Dadichi received him very nicely. He was very surprised that Indra has come to his ashram. Then he asked him that what brings you here. So he said, well, I have one request to you. He said, yes, please tell, I will do. So he said, don't teach to the Ashwani Kumaras. So Dadichi said, why? He said, because I am telling you. He said, I have already given my word to them, how can I refuse now? So he said, that I don't care, that's your problem. But I am telling you, don't teach. Those who have some power, they also try to force it on others' hand. So it was not fair for him to speak like that. Bhagavatam says he has knowledge, I'm not charging for it. If he wants to teach to somebody, why some other party comes and says, don't teach. So the Bhagavatam said, but that's not possible. I cannot go against my promise. So Indra's, he left and he warned him that if you teach him, I will cut your head. So people actually go to that extent. It's a very vivid story how people who are envious, they don't want others to come up. And we see this all the time in our own lives. We have seen it. And they will create trouble and they can go up to the extent of even killing. So Indra is not going to lose anything. If somebody learns something, what do you lose? And if you also know and he also knows, you can sit and you can talk, it's good. But this is how materialistic people are. Actually in spiritual world it does not matter. You don't diminish in position if you know and somebody else also knows. It's only in the material world, because in material world the resources are limited and there is always a competition. In spiritual world everything is unlimited and there is no scope of envy there. So Babaji, and then he said it and he left. Now after some time the Ashwini Kumaras came and they said that, please teach us. We said, come later, now we have come, we have time to teach. So he said, yes, I will teach you, but I have this problem. And they asked, what is the problem? He said that Indra came and he said that if I teach you, he will cut my hand. So Ashwini Kumaras, they thought and they said, don't worry, we have a solution. He said, what is the solution? He said, look, we are doctors, we are surgeons, so we know how to do surgery. So he said, what does this have to do with surgery? He said, yes, we will cut your head and we will fix a head of horse on your body. And then you can teach us from the horse mouth. You heard this saying, to hear from the horse's mouth, right? This is the source. So then you teach us from the horse's mouth, then Indra will come and cut your head and you put your head back. So therefore there is no problem. Of course I don't know why they have to do such an exercise. They should have said, you teach us, you come and you cut your head, we will fix it back. Right? Why they have to put a horse head and then put his head? People have said, don't worry, you teach us, he comes and he cuts it off, we again put it back. So anyway, that's what they did. So that's why Nadichi got the name Ashwasiras, or one who has a horse head. So this also proves that the knowledge is not in the brain but in the heart. Right? The chitta is here, not here. This is just a machine. So somehow they were such great surgeons, they could even fix a horse head. I think surgery has yet to develop to that level. And even to cut somebody's head off and then stitch it back, they have not come to such advanced stage. But to put a horse's head and then let the horse speak. So they did this, and that's why he said that Yadva asva shiro nama tayor amartam yadhat. And Tarayo means to the Ashwini Kumaras, amartam. And then after they heard this knowledge, they became amara, immortal. Because it is transcendental knowledge. Once you have it, then you become liberated. So this commentary by Srimad. Tadiyam vidyatishayam aha savaiti dvabhya. Now in this verse Lord is explaining about Dadichi, how he has this great knowledge. But this is not an ordinary knowledge. Actually Dadichi is the person who gave it to Twasta. Twasta gave it to Vishwarup and Vishwarup gave it to Indra. So it is also indicated here that you kill Vishwarup and his guru is his father. He is angry at you. So now you go to his father's guru. Only he can help. Because if you commit an offense against somebody, then you have to ask for forgiveness from that person. But if that person is dead, how can you ask forgiveness? They killed him. So they could also go to his father. The father was also angry. Because he is the one who created Vitra. So he said, now go to Guru's guru. So that is Dadichi. So Dadichi was a very great person. And then somebody who is going to give up his body willingly. The most dear thing. Body is very nice slogan because there is Kurvan Chatavalekani Kaya Kasya Vallabha. So it is said that one who is dear to you is dear to you. Yapriya Sat Priya Eva Sat. Even if he is doing something wrong, you don't mind it. And you really, so just like the body, we like our body. And body is always creating trouble to us. Sometimes diarrhea, sometimes headache, sometimes fever, right? Still we love it. We don't say hell with this body. So, your Priya, so Priya Eva. That one who is dear is always dear. So body is very dear. Kurvan Shat Valikhani Kaya Kasya. It's always doing bringing hundreds of troubles to us. And further you walk 5 steps, you start heavy breathing, feel trouble. Still, he says, who does not like the body? Kaya Kasya. Vallabha means the beloved. So it is our beloved. But this body he gave up. Greatness. So that's why he said that Lord is explaining why he gave up, because he is situated in knowledge. Evam prasiddha katha, this is the story, he is quoting this. Nisamya atharvanam daksham pravargya brahma vidyayo dadhyancha samupavatya tamuchurasvino athasvino. That's when the Kumaras, they heard that Dadichi Muni, he knows, he is expert in two things. One is pravargya, it's type of yajna, and another is brahma vidya, transcendental knowledge. So they came to him and spoke to him and all as follows. Bhagavande no vidyam iti srutva sa abravit karmanyo stito dhyam pashad vaksham gachatam. So they said, oh Lord, please give us this knowledge. So when Dadichi heard this, he said, now I am engaged in some special type of spiritual practice. You come later on. So they left. Tayo nirgati oreva shakra agatyatam munim vacha bhishjo vidyam mavadir ashvino mune. So right after that, Indra came and he said that don't give this knowledge to Ashwini Kumaras. They are doctors, they don't deserve this. So yadi imad vakya mulyam hai bravisi sasayvate siraschinyam sandhihaitu prasayavadi. And if you don't listen to my words and give this knowledge to you, surely I will cut your head, there is no doubt about it. And saying this, he left. Indra gate tathabhyatya na satya uchutur dvijam Tanu Kadim Indragatan Daritam Sutva Tarum Sutupana. So when Indra left, then the Aswini Kumaras came and they spoke to the Rishi. And from the Rishi they heard what Indra has said. So then the Aswini Kumaras they told him, Avam Tav Shiras Chitva Puram Ashwasya Mastakam Sandhasya Avastato Bhugi Ten Vidyam Chanam. So he said, don't worry, we will cut your head and we will put horse's head, then you speak this knowledge to us. Tasmin Indra Sanchine Puna Sandhaya Mastakam Nijam Vedakshanam Datta Namishyāhu Yatādhitam. And then when Indra comes and cuts your head, we will put your head back and we will give a dakshana to you. Some gift we will give to the teacher and then we will go. Etat Shruttva Tadavacha Dadhyam Atharmana Tayo Pravargyamam Vidyam Satkrito Satyasanti. So when Dadichi heard this, he gave them the knowledge, both Brahma Vidya and the Pravargya, because he did not want to go against his word. This used to be a very big fear in the olden time for people, that I don't say something and I don't fulfill it. People were very, very truthful. They will keep their word even if they have to sacrifice their own life. The famous statement, Raghukul Rita Samachariya Prana Jaya Par Vachana. It has been a tradition in the dynasty of Raghu, in which Lord Ramchandra was born, that we can give up our life but not our word. Word is more precious than life. So that's why Lord Ramchandra, he went to exile. He was not asked by his father to go to exile. But he did not want that his father's word becomes false. Because his father has given a word to his king, Kaikeyi, that she can ask 2 boons from him. And then she said, okay, when opportunity comes, I will ask. When it was time for Lord Ramchandra to be installed as the successor of King Dasa, next day he was to be installed as the king. And the previous days he asked Dasa that, can I ask my 2 boons? And Dasa was very happy. Very happy mood, because he was very much in love with Lord Ram and wanted to make him the king. He said yes, and she said, okay, my first boon is that Ram should go to exile for 14 years and my son should take the position of the king. So when Dasarath heard this, dropped on the ground. Cannot imagine such a thing, that Rama was his very life. How can he ask him? So he fell down and he never got up. He actually died. He was so bereaved and he was crying. He says, how can you be so cruel? And she said, what cruel? You ask me that I can take these boons, I am only asking my boon. So when Lord Ramchandra heard it, he left. So he was not ordered by his father why he left, because he said that if I do not go, then my father's word will become false. And he gave his word that I will give you the boon. Now she is asking. So it is my duty to keep my father's word. So people will go to this extent. Otherwise he could have said that is between my father and my stepmother. Why I have to go? That's their problem. Even if father asked him, he could have refused. And here father did not even ask him and he voluntarily left. So they were very worried. It's the same the story of the Bhishma, that how he said, I will not marry for the rest of my life, because his father was in love with the girl. And the father of the girl said that I can marry her to you, to Bhishma's father, if the children born from her take the throne. Bhishma was the natural legal heir to the throne. So Bhishma's father refused. He says, no, I don't want to marry. But then Bhishma went to that girl's father and promised that I will not sit on the throne and I will not marry. And he kept his word. So they used to sacrifice. Now you cannot imagine. When the father asked for a glass of water to the son says, why shall I do this? You get up and take it yourself. I witnessed it personally. I was shocked. The son and father, they were sitting on the table. And the father asked, can you bring water? And he said, why don't you get up and take it? So how can such people understand what is being described here? So the Rishi Muni, he did not want that his word goes false, so he agreed to get his head cut off. Even if they were going to do the operation, still who would like to go through such an operation? You have to go through anesthesia, right? Complete body, you have to become completely unconscious. Get that strong injection in your back. And then they have to do the operation. Who wants to do that? So he agreed. Why? Because he said, asatya shanti. That asatya means untruthfulness. He was afraid of being untruthful. He did not want it. So there are so many stories. There is a story of King Shibi. King Shibi was a very great king, son of Kushina. One day he was sitting in his court on the throne, and because he was known to protect people and very truthful, his fame went all over the three worlds. And then Indra became very envious of him. Indra has a lot of problem. So he decided to test him. So he asked fire god to become a pigeon. And he became a hawk. And the hawk was chasing the pigeon. And this pigeon came and sat in the lap of the king. Suddenly he fell in his lap. So the king caught him and saw there was a pigeon, and he was terrified. And then the pigeon spoke in a human voice. He says, please protect me. So he looked, he said, this is a very strange pigeon speaking. Pigeons don't talk. So he said, don't worry, you are in my shelter and there is no cause for fear to you. So and then a hawk came following him. Hawk said, give this pigeon to me, this is my food. You are denying me my food. So the king said, well, he is under my protection now, I can give it to him. So he said, then, what kind of a king you are? You are taking my food. So he said, don't worry, I will give you food. So he says, no, I eat meat. I will give you meat. I will give you more meat. So the hawk said, look, I am not a beggar. I eat with my own effort. And I chase this pigeon and I am going to eat him. I am not come here to get charity from you. So he said, I am not saying that I am doing charity to you, but I am asking charity from you. He said, don't think that I am being kind to you, I am asking you to be kind to me. The king was telling to the king. He says, what do you mean? He says, I have given protection to the king, and now you please be kind to me, that I keep my word, and I give you some other meat. That's my request. So he says, no, I want to eat only this pigeon. So he said, that's my request. He said, please spare this pigeon. And I give you whatever you want to eat. So he said, okay. I spare the pigeon, then you give me meat from your thigh, equal to the weight of this pigeon. So the king said, okay, I agree to that. So he got a scale and he put the pigeon on one side. And then he took a sword and he cut meat from his own thigh and he put on the scale. When the pigeon was not coming up, it was down, he cut more and more, and still the pigeon was heavy. And he cut from the other thigh, and still the pigeon was heavy. So when the king, he himself sat on the scale, he said, okay, you eat me, and that's all I have. So then they came in the form of Indra and said that we came to test you. So the point is that people would go to that extent. He was a king, and he's giving his own meat with his own hand, and just for the sake of a pigeon. So this is what is called Satya Sankalpa. What is described in the Yoga Sutras, Ahimsa Satya. I give my word, I keep it. Now we speak so many things we don't even remember that I said. And someone reminds me that I really don't. We can fail forgetfulness. People even go into the court try to prove how I didn't say it. I did not mean it. So in those days, therefore, there was no question of writing legal notes. And all this legal writing came and people started telling lies. And people were so truthful. And where was the need for them to write a bond and go to the court and register it and have witness? Because nobody will go against their word. So when they were not writing anything, then people will not cheat, and now when we write, now we try to cheat. We have to write it and then try to interpret it. So there are so many stories if you read Mahabharata about being truthful. So being truthful, this is a very fundamental thing of spirituality. So many problems come in our life, even in material life, and especially in spiritual life, we are not truthful because then our personality becomes divided, we become schizophrenic. And we are saying one thing and thinking another. And then all kinds of problems arise from that. So it is very important, and especially if we want to be dharmic, religious or spiritual, we have to be truthful. Bhagavatam starts from that, Satyam Param Dhimahi, that we meditate on the absolute truth. We always refer to the Lord as absolute truth. So truth there means which does not change, which remains same in past, present and future. So that is not only regarding some object, but also about our words. So Krishna is called truth. He is the Param Satya. He is the supreme truth. When he was in the womb of Devaki and the Devas came and prayed, the very first statement they made was this one, Satyavratam Satyaparam Satyam Satyasya Yonim Hitam Cha Satya Satyasya Satyam Satyam Yatrat Satyatmakam Tvam Shanam. Everything they spoke about Krishna, they used the word Satya, truth. So your very essence is Satya, you are devoted to Satya. Satya comes from you are truthful in past, present and future, you are situated in Satya, vision is true, all everything. So therefore Satya is the name of Krishna. This is how Goswami describes Satyam Param. Meaning of Satyam Param, although it means, it is direct translation is we meditate on the absolute truth. We say that Satyam is actually name of Krishna, so we meditate on Krishna. That's the hidden meaning. Because he is the truth. And then everything flows from him. He is the source of everything. He is the reality. So when we follow truthfulness, then we are situated in God. Otherwise, we are in illusion. So if we can just follow this simple principle, truthfulness, that is very good. So he said that asatya sankitam, because he was afraid that his words can go false. Iti tatasya amartha dadhyam niskalam shuddham brahma adhigata gyatvam. So this is the meaning. That Dadhichi Muni, he has realized the Brahman, pure absolute truth. He has realized this. He was realized person. Niskritamiti pate kritad anitya padartha niskranta. Or sometimes the word niskalam, there is a difference in reading niskritam, which means that he has gone beyond anything which is anitya or temporary. Which means he was situated in reality. Tato ashvibhyam pradat, and then he gave this knowledge to the two brothers Ashwini Kumaras. Iti uttarasya anusanga. This is related with the next word. Brahma kidrisham yadvai asvasirsha proktatvad asvasiro nam tayor amartam jiva muktatvam. And what kind of knowledge he gave? He said that this knowledge was that by which these two brothers became Jivan Mukta. Immortal, becoming immortal does not mean that they will not die, but after giving up that body, they will not take birth again. So this is called becoming liberated while existing in the same physical body. And then there is Atyantik Bhakti, or ultimate liberation, that when you give up the body, go to the spiritual realm, you don't take birth again. So that state is called Jivan Mukta. So Ashwini Kumar will become Jivan Mukta. Tathacha Shrutihi Ashwasya Sirishna Prayati Uvacha. So the story of Dadhichi Muni and Trasul, it is a very old story definitely, because it is described, it is referred to in the Vedas. In the Vedas there are references to many of these stories, but they are only a reference. In the Puranas, the stories have been explained in more detail. Dadhyam atharvanas tvastram Varma bhedyam vadatmakam vishwarupaya pradat tvashtayatvam adhastata. So Lord is now giving the lineage of the successor of this knowledge. So Dadhichi, he got this knowledge and then he gave his knowledge to Tvashta, who was the father of Vishwarup. And Tvashta gave it to Vishwarup. And that's why Vishwarup, we read, he was also a very renounced person. And when these Devas has approached him to become their priest, he was not very happy. Because anyone who is situated in such a spiritual state is not interested in some ritualistic ceremony, becoming a priest. It does not attract them, it does not appeal to their mind. But because he was approached by all these devas, and his father also belongs to their family, the devas, sons of Aditi, the son, as we read earlier. So he agreed because of the family relationship. Only he was disinterested. So that's why he said that Karmanani gave it to Twashta, Twashta gave it to Vishwarup, and Vishwarup is the one who gave it to Indra. So the important word here is they say that Madatmakam, this knowledge is about me. The essence of this knowledge is God Himself. Madatmakam varma Sri Narayana Kamcham Tvashte Pradat Yat Kaucham Tvashta Vishwarupaya Swapatra Pradat Tato Vishwarupatvam Yat Adhad Dhritvanasli Ate Vidya Saram Bhaktam Gachat. So he's just giving the lineage, and he says that in case you have a doubt, how can the bones of Rishi, the Dhichi, be so strong that they can kill Vritrasura? So he says because the Dhichi has internalized this Narayana Kavacha, whose essence is God Himself. This is what I was saying, that when someone practices this spiritual knowledge, it can even percolate into the physical body. So therefore he said that his bones have the power in this Narayana Kavacha. Indra himself has Narayana Kavacha, but looks like it's not working because of the offense. Killing the very teacher who gave this knowledge. But in case of Dadichi, even his bones will work. Because he is so truthful and so much dedicated to the Lord. So then, next verse says, Yusmabhyam yachitosvibhyam dharmagyam jnani dashyati tataistairayush aidashreshto vishvakarma vinirmitaha yena vittasilo harta matteja vibhrumita. Now just in case they doubt that why would he give this to us, so he says, don't worry, he will give it to you because you go along with the Ashwani Kumaras. Because Ashwani Kumaras are also devas. Ashwani Kumaras are the students of the Dhichi. So he says because he is very compassionate to help his students, he will give up his bones. He says, Yusmabhyam yachito asvibhyam. Asvibhyam means these two Ashwani Kumaras. Dharmagyo angani dasa. Because he is the knower of Dharma, he knows the principles of Dharma, so he will give up his bones. So you get these bones, and then through these bones you get a weapon made by Vishwakarma. Vishwakarma is the architect, engineer of the Devas. So, Yena Vritrasilo Harta Matteja, and that weapon will kill this demon Vritrasura, because I am also going to put my energy. So that way he is blessing the devas. Nanu evam ko dataya svagatram api dadya tatra. So if someone doubts that who can be such a charitable person who can give up his own body, so the Lord says, yes, here. Vishayasto asvibhyam sisyakrita dasati. So specifically he will give because he loves his students, Ashwini Kumaras. So for their sake, he will give. Because for the sake of love, you can sacrifice anything. So usually it is the student who sacrifices himself or herself for the teacher. That's what we hear. And the student is dedicated, surrendered to the Guru and serves him, not caring for his or her own body. But here we see that the teacher is sacrificing. Because love is like that. The teacher is sacrificing his own life for the student. अस्विभ्याम हेतुभ्याम इति वा तैरंगैरस्तिभिः भविष्यति कृष्ण. And then there is the last verse. तस्मिन् विनिहिते यूयं तेजवस्त्रायुध संपदः भूय प्राप्स्यत ब्रह्मो न शान्ति च मत्परान्. So he says, when he will be killed by you, then you will have the power of this ayuda, and nobody can kill my devotees, which means that you are surrendered to me, so you will not be killed. We are you will again attain your wealth, your power, your position. ननु सर्वग्रासिना वृत्रेण सार्धं योद्धुं न शक्नुमः तस्मात् तं हन्तुं स्वमेव यतस्व इत्याह. So Indra, if he says that how can we kill Vritrasura who is swallowing everything, it is not within our power. So you please, you kill yourself. So Lord says, na himsanti matparan, says no, he cannot kill you. He is assuring Indra that Vritrasura cannot kill Indra. Because Indra is actually appointed post for a specific period, so he cannot be killed. And probably this was the reason that when Vritrasura was created by Twasta, then it was arranged somehow by the power of Saraswati that they mispronounced it. This person was born who will be killed by him. Because Indra cannot be killed. Vritras tadvashi bhuta asurascha matparan yusman negnanti. It says Vritrasura and all the asuras who are under his control or his assistance, they cannot kill you. Because you are devoted to me. Vritrasya param bhaktattvena madartham swadeham api jihashavor jihashav vastuto dvesho nasti eva yatha yusmakam tasmin. Indirectly what he is saying is that Vritrasura is my supreme devotee, he is my pure devotee, he is a great devotee. And for my sake he is willing to give up his body. And he has no envy towards you, unlike you people who are envious of him. So although it appears that as if these devas are great devotees of the Lord, but indirectly he is saying that Vritrasura is actually a greater devotee than you, and therefore don't worry, you will be able to kill him. Because Vritrasura, he wants to also give up that body because he was cursed. So Lord is arranging in a way so that he gets out of this curse. Vritrasura, as we will read the story, he was Chitraketu in his previous life. And he was a great devotee. But he made fun of Lord Shiva, and then Parvati cursed him to become a demon. So now he becomes, and now Lord is actually making, I will say that you perform two tasks simultaneously. So he is making his Indra and all these people humble, and at the same time making Vritrasura give up his body so that he comes back to his state of performing pure devotion. chapter. Iti sararth darshinyam harshinyam bhakta chetsa sashkasya namodhyaya samyakasya. This is the end of Sararth Darshini commentary by Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur on this 9th chapter of 6th canto. So then 10th canto, 10th chapter we will read how the devas, they will approach this great sage Dadhichi and ask for his bones. So that we will do day after tomorrow. Tomorrow there is no class. Tomorrow there is Gopastami, worship of cows. Everybody is invited to Kalidev Guru Maharaj's ashram. There will be worship of the cow after 10 o'clock. Prasad there, so you are invited to come. There is any question?